Well, hello there. Hi, my name is Harvey Sengers. I am 34 years. I come from the Netherlands. So here's the deal. I have been busy making a game, a relatively easy game with a 60 question cards for artists. And with artists, I mean basically everybody who has anything to do with art. This could be musicians, people working on photography, people making art, people who help making art, people who appreciate art, basically everybody. The name of the game is the first record, or in my native Dutch language, de eerste plaat. The game focuses mostly on music, but I also put in a lot of other questions that could basically speak to any artists. I also try to include a very deep questions and very light subjects, so we get a healthy mix. Also, and this is where the game gets its name, there are three special music record questions. These questions focus solely on questions about music records. So whoever is playing this game with me has to draw 20 questions. They have to answer them as good as they can. And if they manage to draw two of the three record questions that I just showed you, the player actually wins a voucher for a music album of their own choice. Each player starts out with two I am asking you question cards. It's very simple. The name already says it. If there's a question that you find interesting that I am asking you, you can give this card to me and then I have to answer the same question. So last but certainly not least, there's only one Joker question card. This one comes very much in handy on the end of the game if you weren't able to get at least two of the record questions. This card permits you to draw three more questions and even gives you one extra I'm asking you card. The goal of the game is to have as much meaningful and interesting conversations about music and art as humanly possible to help musicians and artists that need the attention, of course, to keep you, sophisticated people, entertained. Of course, I'm gonna need also your help to find cool guests, but we're gonna talk about that on the end of the video. So my next rather special guest is called Freek Kruijswijk. He is the lead vocalist of not one but two metal bands from the heavier side of metal. A reformist and a menacer. Next to that, he is a accomplished guitarist, having played for bands like Sealow, the Traveling Psychord. He's a great and hilarious friend to have, and he's a very wise and competent musician to have as a fellow musician on the road. Can't wait to introduce you guys to this dude. A little disclaimer, since both he and I are busy and working fathers, and took us a little bit longer than anticipated to get to each other, you literally see the video going from daylight to nighttime. So last 10 minutes of this rather long interview, you will literally see us in the dark and almost nothing else. Please note, this is my second attempt at making an episode. I'm still learning. I will bring a lamp next time, but for now, forgive me on that one. So don't be surprised that you're literally going to the dark side for this video. Let's dig into it. Freek!
Hello.
Dude! There's one good thing about us having to do this in English, because normally when I invite guests, it's kind of weird to switch in England, but I was already stuck with you in England for quite a while. So this should be easy.
For a good few days.
For a good few days.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. I already asked you to pick the 20 cards.
I did.
Picked extra 3 in case you get the Joker card, so I'll just start with the first one.
Let's go.
Let's go. Which music video has made the biggest impression on you?
Ooh, starting off with a tough one.
Yeah, and I have to ask you to try to elaborate as much as you can on answers. We want to go deep.
Hell yeah. For impact wise, it would be, I'm guessing, Veil of Maya. They have a song, I think it's called Abstract or something like that, I'm not sure. But they have this, it's a sick ass song, but the video clip is really cool. Like it's a 3-piece band in the video clip, and they all have these headgears on with wires coming out of them while they're playing the song. And there is people. Just there's this one girl, she's drawing on a piece of paper and throwing it into an oven, I think, and there's this one guy playing with clay. They're doing visual stuff, like they're doing art stuff while the band is performing in the same room, and they just throw it all into an oven or a microwave or a furnace, whatever. And at the end of the video clip, the door comes open, and there's like a human brain in there, and that's just like, yeah, that's cool. This is really cool. This is really well put through, like in thought, because they're actually trying to visualize the artistic piece of the human mind in drawing, in playing with clay, in doing shit, whatever. That's cool. That made a lot of impact on me.
And what kind of music are they making?
I think it's mathcore, progressive metal, like metalcore, something like that. It's let's keep it at metal.
Okay.
Metal band.
Yeah, but experimental.
Experimental, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, probably Feeling This by Blink-182 is a cool clip.
Why, of all, being both Blink fans, why of all videos rather Feeling This?
Because it's like the song's about being together with your partner in some way, and the video clip portrays like an image of a guy and a girl in some sort of institution or a prison, but they can't really meet up with each other, and it's frustrating. So it's kind of contradictory, but it's also pretty cool to see. And of course, the iconic intro of the guy getting his head shaved. That's just, it's cool. It's nostalgic.
The buzzing when it starts.
Yeah. It's nostalgic value.
I'm gonna crawl a little bit into this subject because being a Blink fan, whenever another Blink fan talks about it, I can't just randomly stop at it. Do you remember that coming out, or was that before you became a Blink fan?
That I've been a Blink fan since I was 3 because of my dad, but I haven't watched the video clips, and until I was like a bit older, then I just started listening to like a whole different spectrum of Blink instead of What's My Age Again and All the Small Things. And then I discovered the self-titled album, which is by far the best album they ever put out.
I agree, yeah.
And then I started watching the video clips as well, and then just, I was like 10 or something when YouTube came out. It's weird. I feel old. But that's when I started watching the video clips. So yeah, I think the video clips are older than when YouTube came out. But I started watching those clips when YouTube was there. So yeah, I watched them all in retrospect.
Yeah. Do you remember the first video you went? Let's say like this, like I can kind of pick out around which time we're sitting outside, by the way. So if there's random church bells and random
ASMR,
yeah. So it's very it's very less. We keep it natural.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, around and I think every fan has this with bands. Around a certain time, you can kind of pick out where they were and which album they were doing. Like, I got in during Enema. And whenever I see pictures of them, I can automatically say, "Oh, Untitled. Oh, this is."
Yeah. Like you can see their album eras in the way they look.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes even up to the one T-shirt or one. Oh no, Tom has his hair like over his eyes, so that's Angel and Airwaves.
Yeah.
Or Untitled. Like, do you remember about what time you really got into them? Where they were at that time?
Dude, I'm not sure because I've been listening to them for my whole life. And that was way in the like in the 90s. That's when I was in the backseat of the car and my dad was putting on Blink-182, so that was around Enema of the State somewhere. So yeah, that was my first encounter with Blink, but when I started to look at them visually, that was my first clip was All the Small Things for sure. I know that for a fact because I watched that with my sister when YouTube just came out, so then we could watch video clips of bands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's when I, for the first time, started seeing them as the persons that made the music rather than just listening to the music.
Yeah. I remember that moment too, that you listened to them for a while, and I think I bought Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, and then I saw them, because back in those days it wasn't that normal that you just saw them everywhere, because internet wasn't that big, and the TV wasn't that
you would see them like on CD covers or in the booklet. Oh yeah.
I remember that moment that I thought, oh, so that's them.
Yeah.
Right? Kids now don't have that. Like, they get introduced with what they're looking at immediately.
Oh, dude, I listen to so much like bands that I discover, and I listen to them for like a shitload of time, and eventually, like, how do these guys look? Like, I don't even know how these guys fucking look. Still today. Yeah. I've been listening to a band for 2 years, and then randomly just Google their name, and then just see some random guys, which are allegedly the band I'm listening to.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, oh, this is how these guys look. All right, that settles it. Yeah, but yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird.
Nice. I'll go to the second one. How do you stay motivated and passionate about the work that you do?
Dude, the people around me, like the fans. The fans hype me up all the time. Other musicians around me just hyping each other up is insane. Like, the amount of love people in the music scene spread to each other is just immense. It's so good to see that, compared to a few years back, where everybody had this like big fucking ego around them and didn't want to talk or elaborate on a bunch of stuff music related. These days, people are all super helpful, hyping each other up. People motivate each other to make music. So, yeah, it's just the people around you that give you the good energy to keep pushing in the thing that you do. That's basically what's keeping me motivated, is the people around me.
Okay, and since I know, like, you play in Menacer, you play in Reformist, you've played in Traveling Cycle Ward, in Sealow. If you look at people, maybe fans is already a big word to say for some more, for some less, for some bands, but people who like those bands, is there a difference in the people that walk up to you?
Yeah, of course, because all bands are extremely different from each other.
Yeah.
So you have a different audience coming to your shows. Of course, you have like your friends that come to all the shows because they're supportive. Shout out to the friends. But yeah, the audience is always different. Like, you have these select few people who come to shows of a certain band you play in, like your go-to fan base that try and visit every show that you play.
Yeah,
which is cool. But yeah, every band has a different audience, so there's always different people coming up to you after a show, and it's always surprising to see what kind of people out of your circle of people you know come up to you to have a little chat. So yeah, there's a huge difference in people that come up to you.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what I meant with a difference in what you can call fans, like, I've also seen the difference in when you're in a band that can play headlining shows, or is already longer on the road, so has a bigger following, or there's this side project bands that you do every now and then, and it would be too much to call it fans when there's just 5 people that hang out with you. But then there's a difference when you're with, I don't know, Reformist, and you are able to headline a show, and then there's a lot more people that I think want a piece of you or want to talk with you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, there's a huge difference, for sure. It all depends on the shows that you're playing as well. And of course, if you played good enough for people to want to talk with you. Like,
yeah, is there a difference?
If you play a shit show, people will just not come up, man. They just won't. I'm telling you. No, but yeah, there's difference. For instance, if we play a festival and we headline a festival, there's always a lot of people coming up wanting a picture, want us to sign shit. But yeah, when you play like a local show, it's just more low key. So yeah, people, they call to you, nice show, and you're like, yeah, thanks. Yeah, there's a huge difference, but it's all also depending on the type of show you're playing. If you play a festival, if you play in a big venue, a small venue, the local bar, or someone's backyard, whatever, there's always a difference in the people who approach you and also the way in which they approach you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I already said it in the last interview. This is a game in which we could spend a whole hour on one question because we could talk an hour about
Easily.
situations.
Easily.
Okay. Let's
go to the next one.
Let's go to the. Let's start slow. Oh, this is an interesting one. If you had to name a top 3 of musical, artistic, or cultural teachers that you personally have or had in your life, who would you name? Think of, for example, literally music or art teachers, colleagues, or passerbys that made a lasting impression on you. Who shaped you the most artistically?
Ooh.
It could also be people you don't even know. Like you could also name
this random dude with the sick mustache I saw 6 years ago. Like the
if it means that much to you, yeah, maybe. But is this a real person that you're talking about?
No. I'm just making a joke. But you mean like how they shaped me in the musician that I am right now, like role models, or just people who pushed me to get into the creative part of art?
Well, the funny thing is, like, your predecessor had the same question, and we were also like out loud thinking, who should he name? And the thing that I suggested, for instance, because I think it's a personal thing for everybody, but for me, in a weird way, like I had this aunt that took care of me until I went to secondary school. And now in my 30s, I start to realize that it's because of her that I'm able to calculate, that I'm articulate in English and everything, because she put all the effort in. And it doesn't.
Yeah, she raised you in a way.
In a way, and I don't think if she's in the top 3, but it makes the spectrum so wide of who should you pick.
Yeah.
I would say, for instance, Puppi in my.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In my case.
Yeah. Well, she is definitely in the top 5 of people who push me.
Right.
Musically, yeah, for sure. But I'm guessing my parents, because they've always been supportive of whatever I do, in which way I do it as well. Especially musically, thinking that my mom hates the music that I make, but she's still super supportive of it.
And proud too, I guess.
And proud, yeah, dude, for sure. It just melts my heart every time. So yeah, my parents, my dad loves what I do. He comes to shows whenever he can, so that's cool. So yeah, my parents, for sure, who gave me the opportunity to do what I do. Like, they bought my first guitar. They've always been supportive of what I do in a musical way as well. They gave me the space to actually do it. So yeah, without them, I wouldn't be doing this.
So that's a shared place in the top 3.
Yeah.
Them as a unit.
Yeah, a unit. Yeah.
Like, for instance, who brought you into the heavier stuff? Was that a big teacher that brought
my
you?
Dad.
Yeah?
My dad, dude. I was in the backseat of the car. This guy would have this compilation CD of songs that he liked, and it went from Sepultura to Metallica, Limp Bizkit, back to Sum 41, Blink-182, all the way to The Smiths, The Cure, Ika Mouse, Bob Marley. This man had everything. I listened to the whole shebang of music on the backseat of my dad's car. So that's what has shaped my musical interest.
Yeah.
For sure.
But still, I mean, if you listen to Menacer and if you listen to Reformers, that's still one tad more heavier from there. Like, what brought you there?
Yeah.
Who brought you there, or did you come there on your own?
Yeah, I think you have this basis of music that you've grown up with, and from there you just discover more stuff. Like, when you grow up with like the heavier part of music, people always say, yeah, Slipknot. I started listening to Slipknot, and that shit was disgusting at first, and then it started to get better. Now it's fucking sick, you know?
Yeah. From our generation.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, and then you just start watching suggested videos until you find something that tickles your brain in a certain way. And that's when you get into the heavier shit, if you're into it, of course. And then you just start your musical journey from there. You talk with people, you go to shows, and people recommend you other bands, and that's how you get into it. But it's weird to see how your musical taste just shapes through the years. But
2 more big inspirational figures in your life. It doesn't have to be. I'm just trying to navigate you. But this is you.
But this is a difficult fucking question, because vocally, I've always looked up to Aaron Metz, the vocalist of Betraying the Martyrs, who is now the frontman of 1056. He's always been my main inspiration for my vocals. So yeah, that's how I actually rolled into doing this. But I'm guessing that like another role model is just my friends, man, just in general as a unit as well. I have to say so, because my friends are also supportive. Whenever they can, they come to shows. They want to hear the new music that I make. They want to hear everything about it. They're so supportive. They buy fucking shirts, CDs, whatever. They walk proudly with it. That's cool, man. That's just...
What does that mean to you?
A lot. It means the world. Like, I have surrounded myself with this circle of friends that will always just keep it real with you. If you fuck up, they will tell you fuck up. If they tell you suck, you know, they just put you in your place whenever. They're always truthful, you know, and that's what I admire from my friends. All my friends are literally the same. They will set you straight if you fuck up. They will compliment you if you deserve it. They're just real.
Yeah.
So they just keep you grounded. If you make shit music, they will say so, that you make shit music. So they won't buy a shirt or won't come to shows or whatever because they think you suck. That's what I would do as well. If your music sucks, I won't be coming.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I don't want to waste my time on that. That's just me keeping it real with my friends. And if I think it sucks, I will tell them like, yo, dude, this isn't it.
But constructive.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Constructive criticism.
We all sucked in the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what pushes you to do better, to get better, and to experiment and get better with that. And just, so yeah, dude, friends.
So that's another unit share.
Another unit share.
So then we have one more spot, like who was very important for you as a person and you as an artist, as informing.
Dude, this is tough.
I know.
This is really fucking tough. But if I have to, like for me as a person to grow and eventually do this, it should be my grandma, I think. She always kept it real. She was like the realest of real, straight out of Rotterdam Zuid.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, she always kept it real. She basically taught me how to be a good person without kissing ass all the time.
To be true to yourself.
Yeah, and speak your mind whenever you can, and that you deserve to share your opinion without people being offended by it. Just being true to yourself. That's what she taught me, and that's also what I still try to implement in my music, is just being true to myself and create something that I like, so that other people like it too, I guess. Yeah, my grandma. And
were you able to share some of your art with her before she left?
Yeah, she hated it.
Yeah. And she was very vocal about that.
Yeah.
That's ironically that she teaches you to always be true, and that when you come with something like that, she still demonstrates that.
Yeah,
I'm going to be truthful with you.
Yeah. I'm going to be completely honest. It's shit. Thanks, Grandma. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's one of the top 3 as well. So it's my parents, my friends, and my grandma for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. It's cool, but because every time when I ask this question, like people use other lanes. I think I also would have used other lanes if I wouldn't hear your answer. It's cool that you go for your parents, your friends, and your family. Because it's so easy to look at your musical heroes, or I don't know.
Yeah, but you can always admire someone from a distance. You know, that's also a good thing to do, is just have your role models to look up to.
Yeah.
But you also have to keep in mind that if you don't have the right people around you, you won't be able to do what you want to do in a certain way. So people around you are the ones enabling you to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you have like strict parents that don't want to let you leave the house, or won't let you make loud music or practice your instrument or whatever, then you won't be able to do something with what you want to do, you know? So it's weird to think that these people don't matter in your growth as an artist or as a person or as a whole, because you need supportive people around you to be able to express yourself in the way that you want.
To me, as a musician, I agree. I think that's where you can also see the difference between musicians. I think people who take it for granted and people who remember where they're coming from and what they're thriving on.
Yeah, exactly. Stupid example is from that song from the Foo Fighters, My Hero. Like, there goes my... That song was written when Dave Grohl was in England, and he saw a kid wearing a Nirvana shirt, and that was just after Kurt Cobain died.
I heard it, yeah. And he tried to get away from it, and then there was this kid that...
Yeah, he escaped like the whole situation of Kurt killing himself, and then he saw a kid with a Nirvana shirt, and that's what the song is about, and that's eventually how Foo Fighters started as a band.
Yeah.
So it's just the people that matter to you. Like, it's not musicians sometimes. Sometimes just a kid wearing your band's t-shirt, or sometimes it's just your friends hyping you up or whatever.
Yeah. And it was such a full circle moment when Taylor Hawkins died and they invited his son up to play drums on that song. Did you see that?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah!
Getting on stage with fucking Coldplay, dude. I got goosebumps watching the whole video. It was insane.
But it doesn't matter how tough you can act on stage or how much of an ego you try to present.
No, dude, that fucking breaks your heart.
When stuff like that happens, you're like... But it's beautiful too, I would say.
Oh, dude, this guy is the embodiment of the human spirit.
Yeah.
Like, he's just keeping it real, even though this guy is dying anytime.
Yeah. Suffering hard too.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Next question. Which work of art should everyone have seen at least once? It can also be a film, a series, or a comic, as long as it's art.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, okay, agree. But why though?
Oh, dude, the whole thing is just amazing. Like the books. Amazing.
Did you read them all?
Oh, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
Too many times as well. I'm actually reading Return of the King as we speak.
I heard that Christopher Lee, who plays Saruman, he said he was the only one who met Tolkien in real life.
Yeah, because they're both old as shit.
Old as shit.
Yeah.
But he also said that even before he got the role, he said ever since I'm 8 or 9, I read the books every year once.
Dude, Christopher Lee is such a fucking badass, man. This guy was a secret agent.
Yeah.
This dude has watched like the last public execution by guillotine in France as well. This dude has fucking lived a life, dude. He's real life James Bond, and then he becomes Saruman.
He was a Nazi hunter.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And I think he spoke like 8 languages fluently.
This dude is insane.
Yeah. And they knighted him 2 years before he died, and he was already in his 90s, and it was like, what the fuck took you so long? What the hell? Yeah. And he made, did you hear those last 3 heavy metal albums that he made before he died?
Yeah. This dude is a fucking legend. No, but aside from the sublime cast they had for these movies, it's just like the big picture as well. They didn't use any CGI. Like, they made like miniatures of all the castles and the villages, and just the way they filmed with the hobbits and the humans and the dwarves, it just running around, the effects they used on camera.
They used a lot of old school tricks, right?
Yeah, dude. And also, like, all those armies of orcs and elves, those are all real people. There's no CGI whatsoever. Like, the costume makers were busy for months to create armor for all the orcs and all the elves and stuff. It's just all people. Like, the production value is so fucking high. Aside from that, it's just a masterpiece of a trilogy. Fight me if you disagree.
Yeah.
But it's just insane, dude. Like, these people, the amount of effort and time that's just been into that film, it's insane. So Lord of the Rings is definitely something that everyone should have seen at least once in their life.
Yeah, and plus Tolkien was I forgot the word, but if you're a specialist when it comes to languages, and he's the first one that really came up with a made-up language in fiction. So after him,
he created the whole fucking language in Elvish.
Yeah,
it's just a speaking language.
But he also laid down a blueprint for making up a language for a franchise.
Yeah,
like because of him, we have Klingon and Valyrian and stuff like that. Yeah, I agree. That's a good fucking choice. I have to commend you on that. How important is your art in your life?
Dude, it's apart from my private life, it's like the biggest thing I have for sure. Whenever I have time, free time, I'm working on music. It's just a big part. I think that like a whole part of my whole persona is just being a musician. I don't try to bring it to the surface that much, but yeah, that's basically who I am. I love to make music. Yeah, it's a big fucking part of my life for sure. It's something I'm working on almost every day. So yeah, even if it's just like playing a little guitar or singing a song or whatever, I'm still busy with music. It's really important to me to keep being busy with it as well, because it's just something I always do. It's a huge part of my life, for sure.
Cool. Describe the live music scene that you grew up in. Was there enough opportunity for a music scene in your area? And if so, what did it look like?
Oh, yes. Yes. We had so much. We had Tex-Mex in Spijkenisse, which was the place for teenage angst. So yeah, everybody was there. Those places shaped me as a person as well, like the humility of all the people there, and you felt secure, like in a whole bubble of insecureness. There was this safe space called Tex-Mex where you could just be your true self without judgment.
Yeah. For whoever is watching now, we both grew up in that place, so we can both talk our fair share about that.
Yeah, it's just a second home for a lot of people our age. From this area, Tex-Mex was like a second home to them. Also Baruch.
Yeah.
Tex-Mex was more of a small band venue, like local band venue. Sometimes they had like this small touring band playing there.
But mostly local bands.
And then you had Baruch, which were for the big dogs.
Yeah, I would say one step further. Yeah, even Misfits and Rammstein and played it there early years.
Early years. Yeah. So there was a fair share of live music where we grew up, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was so important for so many people around us, to help them like develop their person that they wanted to be eventually. Because I think that if you grow up in a place where there isn't much for live music or for something where you can be your true self, that you will get very depressed really quick and really want to run away from wherever you are.
Yeah.
It's important to have your your safe space where you can go somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, if I may add something to that, because I think that now is a nice moment because we don't get too much opportunities to speak that out loud. I already mentioned Puppi before this. We lost Puppi a few years ago, much to our agony and pain. But just for the people who didn't know her, Puppi was somebody from the generation of our parents. She came from America long before we met her. And she was basically always just there. And
she was always there.
She was always there, and I would both the fact that we had a place like Tex-Mex, but mostly that we had her. I think I saw a lot of teenagers come in that place who were potentially very close on the edge to go down the wrong path, and a lot of them are stable and happy adults today because of we had the good fortune of having these people in our life in this place.
Oh yes, I think that Puppi was, to a lot of people, not me included, but to a lot of people, she was like the mom they didn't have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
She had like 100 fucking children she was taking care of at the same time.
Yeah.
That's how it felt to me. She was always there. Whenever you played a show with your small band, she was there. Whenever there was a big band playing, she was there. Whenever you were at a bar somewhere drinking a beer, she was there. Yeah. She was always there. Yeah. And she was always there to listen to your stories and to give you a motivational boost whenever you needed one. She was always the one who would come up to you and give you a hug whenever you felt sad. She was always there to just help you whenever you were down in a deep hole somewhere.
Yeah, she had a talent for letting you feel like you
mattered.
Yeah, but you were the most important thing for her at that moment without giving you the idea that you're being bullshitted. I never had that with somebody else.
Puppi was truthful, like she was real. She was honest.
Unbelievably positive.
Always positive.
Yeah.
But she was just real, man. She was real.
Yeah.
For sure.
I just wanted to bring her up because I don't know, I think we have an obligation to.
She deserves all the attention she can get. Still now in death, she still deserves all the attention that she can get.
Yeah. I had not long ago I saw somebody who asked online what music should I listen to remember her, and then somebody else said it's not as much that you should put up music, but visit local bands and listen to them, because that's what she really would have wanted.
Yeah, that's what she would do.
And that was so spot on. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Nice that we were able to give her a little bit of a shiner.
Hell yeah.
What matters more to you, lyrics or music?
Difficult for me. That's really difficult. All depends on the type of music.
But if you had to forfeit one,
I would go with lyrics.
Yeah?
Yeah, music is more important to me than lyrics.
Okay.
Because you can make a whole catchy song without just saying something serious or whatever. But you can't like make good lyrics without with shit music on it. It just sounds bad. Like you can speak from your heart on whatever you're singing or screaming or something else. But if like the music behind it is shit, it just doesn't stick.
It doesn't cut it.
It just doesn't cut it. No. No, prime example is Dance Gavin Dance. They one of my favorite bands. They make really cool music, and they have a clean singer and a screamer. And the screamer is just yelling bullshit. Like he's really just yelling bullshit. He has lyrics like "You're sitting on a dildo pile, that's why your ass hurts," stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He also has this one song where he just says ass the whole time, just ass, 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 like on the drum beat, which is cool. It just doesn't make sense, but it's cool. So yeah, music is more important than lyrics.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Is there an artist whose music you like, but who you ignore for other reasons?
Ooh, yeah, a few. a few.
Rain on me.
Front porch step.
Because?
This guy is a groomer. He's a fucking child predator. But he makes cool music, and I hate to say that, but he's just a piece of shit. So yeah, he doesn't deserve any attention that's brought up to him.
So we didn't mention him.
No, fuck him. Jake McElfresh, if you hear this, fuck you. I hope you choke. There are like a few bands I think are weird.
But is that enough to ignore them? If they make good music?
Well, yeah. Like Architects, the band.
Yeah.
I fucking hate them, dude.
Why?
I just can't stand them. I just don't listen to them out of personal reason.
Because?
I just can't stand these guys.
But why?
Because have you seen them?
Yeah, I hate them too, but I'm asking you. I could give my reason, but I'm asking you.
Like they are British, so calm down.
Yeah.
But they think they're like the whole fucking shit. That they started shit because their name wasn't big enough on the festival poster.
Oh,
so that's why they didn't play the show.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Fuck you. No. They've got their own head so far up their own ass, dude. It's insane. Like, these are the fucking Tesla drivers of metal music. Yeah. Oh, no. So yeah, fuck them. Fuck Architects.
I saw them on Lowlands, and there was this thing that Lowlands was inviting them every other year, which I already thought was annoying. But I saw them 2 times, and both of the times they actually came up, and they switched their back to the audience and didn't say anything for the whole show. And I'm like, okay, if you do it a few songs, okay. If you're in the vibe with each other, I get it. But if you just don't say anything and then you're just doing it for.
Being a dick.
Yeah, you're being a dick. You're being a dick because people. There's a whole alpha tent that pay to see you.
Yeah.
And you don't even connect with them in any now. Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Any else? Anyone else?
Ooh. No, there are a few bands that I like listening to, but I don't agree on their personal statements.
Yeah. But
that's not enough to not listen to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are like my 2 bands or musicians that I absolutely fucking despise. So I don't listen to them.
And sometimes I also have it with people every now and then, but also with bands. Yeah.
I have a list.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm not gonna elaborate on that list.
No, but sometimes I even have it that I walk into somebody and I get acquainted with them, and within 1 minute, I don't know why.
You just have this. You're full of shit.
I just know for some reason, like I don't even know why, but I just know that it's not gonna click between us. For some reason.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think this could be with music too. That you're like, I don't know why, but it's just.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a no for me.
It's a no for Simon. It's a no for me. Let's see. Do social media and other modern technology play a role in your art? And if so, what kind?
Yeah, for sure. Social media is the number one way to promote your music outside of your confinements. Like, you can make music here and people will start talking about you and visit shows, but to get your music abroad, social media is such a helpful tool to promote your music outside of your own country. So yeah, it's a good promotional platform. It's a good advertisement platform. It's a good way to interact with your fans, with other bands, with just random people. It's just, yeah, social media is just the way these days to promote your music, like to let everybody know, like, hey, we're a band, or hey, I'm a musician, I make music, check it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
Cool. Okay. What is the oldest world news that you can remember experiencing?
They hit the second tower.
Yeah.
9/11.
Yeah.
That was 2001, I think.
And you're from?
96.
Okay.
And I still remember, like, on this big ass TV, like the pregnant TVs.
Yeah.
That I saw just people jumping out the towers. So yeah, that's what I remember seeing.
And you were at home.
At school, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's all vague, but I remember seeing it. And like the beheading of Saddam Hussein, that was also on national television. And it was fucking broadcasted on national television, where you could see him hanging, and they fucked up the hanging, so he was alive with his neck broken, choking in his own blood.
Yeah, and this was one of the first camera on phones, so it was like, I don't know.
It looked like a calculator.
2 megapixels or something.
Yeah. I remember seeing it. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tell me about your very first memories of music. Did you grow up in a musical environment?
Yes.
Did your parents have a strong musical taste? Or did you have to discover music more on your own? Now, I think we already covered it mildly.
Yeah.
But
No, but my mom has this really specific taste in music, which I hate.
There's your grandma coming out again.
Yeah. My mom has this really specific taste in music, which I never liked. She knows it. But yeah, that's just my mom. But my dad has this huge spectrum of music that he listens to. So yeah, that's where I discovered my own musical taste as well. It's just being with my parents, listening to their music, and just growing up with that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Of everything you have achieved as an artist so far, what are you most proud of?
I've been doing this stuff for 12 years now. And to me, that's an achievement that I'm still able, or like still being put in a place where I can do this, where I can still make music, still do my own thing. So that's what I'm most proud of. After all these years, I'm still, like, 12 years is nothing compared to some other musicians that have been doing it. But for me, I would have never have guessed that by now I would still be making music and having fun with it, and being in a place musically where I am right now.
You came pretty far thus far.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what surprises me the most. But yeah, that I'm able to still be doing this right now is for sure my biggest achievement in music.
So you don't take your successes for granted?
Never, dude. Like, I always say that in the first place, I do this for myself because I love making music, and then the cherry on top is being able to perform my music in front of other people. So yeah, that's an achievement, that I'm still able to express myself in a way that I want to, and then also being able to express myself the way that I want to in front of random people I've never met, and they like it. So yeah,
cool.
That's an achievement for sure.
Very nice. As a musician, are you ever afraid that people will copy or imitate your work?
No, dude. I have this, I call it a Mitch Lucker complex. Mitch Lucker is the Suicide Silence vocalist. He's dead now, so rest in peace, my guy. But he always said, that's what I do, and not even like to try and copy him, but I rarely listen to any metal. If I do, it's like old shit, like older metal. And he perfectly put it in words. The way that I feel about this is that I don't want to sound like anyone else. I want other people to sound like me. You know, like, that sounds cocky or something, but I don't want to copy people. But if people want to copy what I do, be my guest. I would be honored to make such an impact on somebody that they're like, we've got to make something that sounds like this, or we've got to do something that's just like this, you know?
So you wouldn't see it as an insult?
No, it would be a compliment to me if someone would try to copy whatever I'm doing musically.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think I heard Prince say not too long ago, I mean, he's dead, but I heard Prince say, I think he was asked something similar, and he said, if I just did my version, then it's good. Everybody is welcome to imitate it.
Yeah.
As long as I have my chance to do my version, it's all good.
Exactly. Yeah, if I have my own thing to do, if I have my own platform to express myself in a way, then it's all good. Then I don't care about what other people do, man. It's you do you, I do me, and that's just fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Joker question. So that's 3 more questions for you. Joker question. If you had to participate in a karaoke night, which song would you choose to get through it the best? This is relevant because I know...
I would go for Easy Lover.
From?
Phil Collins, Matt Bailey.
Why?
Because it's a fucking banger.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool one. Either that one or You Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi. That's also such a good karaoke song.
But also because you know that you kill on it, or?
Oh, dude, yeah, for sure. Hell yeah, I would nail those. Yeah, definitely. Either one of those two, for sure. Yeah.
Shout out to the Huiskamer from Part 3. I absolutely want to hear you do both next time when we hang out with those peeps again.
Will do.
Okay, cool. Does money play an important role in your work as an artist, or is it just creating something that gives you personal satisfaction?
Well, you need money to create something that's for personal satisfaction. So yeah, it's a healthy coalescence between the two. Like they coexist right next to each other. Like I want to make cool stuff, but I need money to make cool stuff. So money is important to a certain degree, I think. If you want like a high value production of your music, you got to pay more money to make it sound good. If you want like a shit production, it's relatively cheap, sometimes free, whatever. But it's all on your personal taste, like what you want to reach or like what you want to create. It's all depending on each other.
Yeah.
If you want to make something good, something neat, like polished, it's gonna cost you money. If you want something like rough around the edges, it's less money. But you need money for the instruments, you need money to record, you need money for your recording equipment, you need money to put gas in a car, which you need money for, to go to a rehearsal space, which you need to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Everything depends on money.
This is what the outside mostly doesn't see if they see us perform. Like they don't know that we're paying for rehearsals, we're paying for instruments, there's a lot of...
Yeah, you pay for the instruments, you pay for food, because you need to play an instrument, so you need to be alive.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You need to pay for your merchandising, you need to pay for your music distribution, you need to pay for maintenance of your instruments, recording equipment, a fucking car.
The record you're making.
Yeah. It's all costing money, dude. You need money to be a musician, and that's just the way it works. Like, it's easy as that. Everything in the fucking world costs money except for sunshine and air.
Yeah. And then we're even being taxed on that eventually. So.
Eventually, yeah. You can buy canned air, like. But it's just weird. Yeah. So you need money to be a musician, for sure.
But did you, over the years, because you said you've been busy with this for 14 years now?
12, something like that. I was 16 when I started.
So does that mean that over the time, like, you could see all these financial things? Is this something that you divide under your bandmates, or did you also develop yourself over the years in these matters?
Financially?
Yeah, for instance, you said you need to pay for protecting your own music, you need to pay for, these are finances. Like, is this something that you also, you kind of educated yourself in over the years how to deal with that, or is this something that you rather would give to a bandmate?
Well, for me personally, I just invest my money in equipment, being it instruments, microphones, recording software, whatever. But that's just my own personal use, so that's my own money that I pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
As a band, we with Reformist especially, we reached a point where we don't need to put in our own money to keep the band going.
But this took time.
This took time, investments, a lot of personal investments. So there's a lot of, in the early stages of a band, you just have to deal with the fact that it's going to cost you personally money as well.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be a musician full time, I'm not on that point, not even close to it, but we just have enough finances to barely keep the band a self-providing organ.
Yeah, you don't have to nurture it anymore. It can.
No, it can nurture itself right now.
Financially.
Yeah. Which is cool, which I'm grateful for, because everything is getting more and more expensive. So all the costs we make as a band are more and more expensive. But right now we can still manage. And if it's something we have to invest in the band ourselves, is like this really small figment of some huge amount of money. So yeah, that's perishable. Like the small amounts right now don't make up for the costs we used to make in the early stages of this band.
Yeah, but it's already a good stepping stone.
This is like a good stepping stone to get higher up somewhere, hopefully. But we'll see where it goes. It's right now, you need money to be a musician. So yeah, money is important.
Yeah.
Just as important as creating something you like. Yeah.
Okay. Vinyl, cassette, CD, or streaming? Which one do you prefer?
Well, my car doesn't have a CD player anymore, so that's streaming. But it's easier. I would go for streaming. Like if I like a band, I would purchase a CD or a vinyl. Cassettes are more of a collectible right now.
Yeah.
So.
But you do have a vinyl player and a CD player.
I have a vinyl player, yeah. I don't have a CD player, but I would just buy the CD player or just the CDs, just if they look cool.
Yeah.
Just to support the band. Like one CD is like 7,000 streams, 70,000 streams on Spotify or something like that.
In value.
In value.
Yeah.
In payment value.
Which is ridiculous.
Which is ridiculous. Yeah, for sure. But it's just so easy to stream your music right now, man. It's just insane. Like you have 6 or 7 streaming platforms where you can just find every song in the world.
But that to go back at that's actually a very important thing that's being said out loud more, especially if people are watching this. Like you realize that if you would buy just a simple CD for €10 from a band, even if you have a CD player,
it helps them more than streaming their music.
It's the same thing if you would spend, how many hours would that be to listen to the same album and to do the same thing?
It's insane. You get like a tenth of a cent or something like that for each stream that you make. It's insane. Like the value is so super low. It's just weird. So yeah, I would buy a vinyl if I like the print. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Then we have a next one. When you think of all tattoos you've ever seen, which ones stand out the most to you?
Of all the tattoos I've seen?
Yeah, your whole life, like which one made the biggest impression on you?
Oh, dude, you have this tattoo of a guy. He has like this tattoo on his chest, where it's like a control panel with 2 tiny arms having joysticks, so it looks like his head is attached to a real tiny body.
Where are the arms coming from?
Like from this, like a small body tattoo.
Oh yeah,
neck, and he's like this, like he's controlling like a flesh puppet of himself with tiny arms. That's a cool one. I don't know. I've seen so many tattoos. I don't know. I really don't know. I also like the bald guys with the lawnmower tattooed on their head. That's cool. Oh, I know which one made the most impact on me.
You have a really, sorry for interrupting. You have the Toy Story.
I have the Andy underneath my foot.
Underneath, I thought there's a big chance if I would have get the question, I would have named that. I thought it was hilarious, but But yeah, sorry for interrupting. I just had to bring that in.
I think the funniest tattoo I've ever seen was this guy who had his hand amputated just like above the wrist, like from here.
Yeah.
But it's a rounded out stump. And then he has like a big ass fucking nail tattooed, so it looks like one huge finger. That one's cool. That one's really cool. I like that one.
Okay. It's hilarious. Can you share a response from someone to your work that made a lasting impression?
Ooh. I'm not sure, because I've had so many people come up to me and say so much heartwarming messages.
Maybe it could also be somebody you respect and you were surprised that somebody like that would comment your work, or
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, because I've had a lot of people saying that I think the biggest compliment that I have been given is that some old dude walked up to me and he's like, I've been waiting for years to see a Dutch band make this music.
where was this? Was it in a foreign country?
No, that was here.
Okay. So it was more a thing like, my country is not making the music that I'm waiting for.
Yes, yeah. And that was a huge compliment. But I'm not sure, man. People say a lot of things. I'm not sure which, like, they all make a certain type of impact, but I'm guessing not big enough for me to. Yeah, that sounds ridiculous. Like it's not big enough for me to remember, because I remember a lot of things people say to me. But I've also been getting a lot of compliments that about my singing, that people are really impressed with my singing and that they want to sound like me, or something like that. Just stuff like that is what always, like, the biggest compliments are always the most heartfelt, because they always come from the, like, they're being truthful when they like kiss your ass. It sounds cheesy, but
Yeah, can you see the difference when somebody's bullshitting you and somebody?
oh, definitely, yeah, I can see right through people, man. I can, like, whatever you say, like in the first minute, I can have this feeling like we're not going to click.
No.
I have that immediately with people. Just 1 minute is enough.
No. Okay. What has been the biggest disappointment in your art? Like, for instance, shitty gig, difficult client. Like, what was the most negative moment that you had to deal with?
Ooh. There was this new band. I'm not going to name any names.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a few, but this one stung me so bad. Like, this was a new band which had members of some old big band in it. They made a start with a new band and new musical journey, and their booking agency contacted us to play their release show for their album. Mind you, this band put out a few singles, which I think sucked. But alright, we wanted to play the show. But they haven't ever played a live show before that. This is just a fresh band, like with experienced musicians.
Yeah.
I'll give them that, but the band itself never played a show ever. So we got contacted to play the show.
And
we're like,
was it with Reformist?
yeah, it was a performance, yeah. And so we got the email. We're like, yeah, sure, we want to play. This is our fee. And their booking agency replied with, yeah, unfortunately, we can't pay you anything. But seeing the people that play in this band, you can see it as an investment show. I got so pissed, dude. I was like, what the fuck am I investing in? What am I investing in? In a band that never played before? I invest in instruments. I invest in production value of the live show. I invest in gas to put in my car. I invest in my car so I can drive to the fucking show. How am I not being paid to play this fucking show? What's wrong with you? Like calling it an investment show. How high are you up inside of your own ass to say shit like that? That stung me, dude. I got pissed when I saw that email. So yeah, that was the biggest bummer I've ever heard someone say to me, like in a musical professional way. See it as an investment show. That sucked.
Yeah.
That sucked.
A lot of artists, well, not only musicians, but especially people who work in the graphic scene and everything, they hear that so often.
Yeah.
See it as an investment.
That shit sucks, dude. I'm not investing in free time.
Imagine if you would say that to a doctor. Like it's good for your career if you do these.
Yeah. You can remove my kidney, but see it as an investment.
See it as an investment. Yeah. Maybe if you do it 100 times, maybe people will start paying you it. Yeah. Yeah. That's fucked. That is fucked. What would you rather choose, going deaf or blind?
Blind.
Wow, that's fast.
Blind. I had this conversation today with my coworker.
Today, actually. Blind. Yeah.
Yeah, I can still hear shit.
Yeah.
That's more important to me than seeing shit.
It's shitty though.
It's shitty though. Of course, it fucking sucks. But I can play guitar because I can hear it. Like I can sing because I can hear it. I can go to shows because I can hear it. I don't care if I can't see it. Like you can be ugly as fuck on that stage. I wouldn't care because I can't see you.
Yeah, but I'm fucking Ray Charles.
I would go full Stevie Wonder on this.
I can still do my stuff.
Hell yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Let's see. That's the last 3, so we're in the bonus round. Ooh. Which documentary has made the biggest impression on you?
Documentary. Ooh.
Do you like documentaries?
I would go for Ted Bundy, dude. Like the documentary about Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy was sick.
Yes, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. He was fucked. But the way that the way that he got away with shit is insane. Like they talk about this handsome, good-looking guy, and then you see pictures, and this guy is just ugly as hell.
Mr. Bean, yeah.
I fucking Mr. Bean, long hair. Yeah. But he was a smart man as well. Like the way that he jumped out of a 2-story window.
Yeah.
In the library of the prison, he escaped, hid somewhere for a few days, and then he just walked back. He's like, "Hey, I'm back. Just arrest me again." And it was fun, but the way that it like stayed in my mind is that this guy like erased all his evidence so perfectly. They couldn't really put blame on him for a really long time for all the fucked up shit that he did. And then he bit someone.
Yeah.
And they actually took like denture clay of his teeth. Like they took an imprint of his teeth for the first time ever in a crime scene investigation. And the teeth matched up with the bite marks on the victim. I was like, oh, this fucking dude just fucked up by something so stupid, like biting a girl in the ass, and then he just gets caught with that. He could have gotten away with everything if he didn't do.
In the 70s, they had almost nothing to catch you on.
No, nothing. Yeah. Absolutely nothing.
I saw that case too. I was so impressed that at one point he's in court, and basically, if you see what happened in the court, it's like obvious that he's guilty. He's also doing really weird, and he defends himself. And that's already super weird when people do that.
Yeah, he didn't have a lawyer because he studied law.
Yeah.
He was studying law in the prison library.
And he actually did. The funny thing is, it's horrible, but you can't help laughing. But the funny thing is that at the end, the verdict says he's guilty, and the judge literally says, "I'm really sorry to hear that you're convicted. I think you're a really cool guy, and I wish you were one of my lawyers, but it's sad that you turned wrong, but." And the whole courtroom was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Like, he's convicted for killing like 70 women, and you're like patting him on the back for being a good lawyer. It was insane.
He also went full Hannibal Lecter because he helped in serial killings as well. Later on from prison, he actually helped the police, like targeting the guys doing it, like the criminals.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was actually like being helpful in prison.
Yeah, to push his execution date.
To push out his death sentence.
Yeah.
So that was weird, but also kind of cool that he was like going full Hannibal Lecter from prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still, even today, I see it every now and then in the newspapers that they're busy to solve a cold case, and they're still try to see if he had something to do with in the case. Yeah. There's still cases that they're still trying to see if he was, because they're sure that he still has victims that they don't know of.
Yeah. But that's with all the serial killers, that there are more bodies somewhere buried that they have had, but they never went missing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
Record question. If this is a record question too, you legendary win. But okay, record question, because you need to. What record have you turned on and rebought the most in your entire life? Which one did you spend most listening to in your whole life?
Self-titled from Blink-182.
Yeah, okay, we can shake hands on that.
Yeah, I wanted to use the "I'm asking you" question, but you just answered it.
Yeah, so, okay, I already won. Thanks. You have 3, by the way, if you want to use them.
I have 2. I have 1 more.
Okay. Yeah, but you also, I had to give you the 3rd one because you took a joker. So if you want to, you can. But after we're done, you can also do a retrospect if you want to. Last question. I'm very sorry, it's not a record question.
Fuck.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Fuck.
Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, or Little Richard?
Johnny Cash.
And why Johnny Cash?
Because Johnny Cash was the only one that's singing from the soul. Like, this guy was hurt. Like, he was really hurt.
I shot a man from Reno just to watch him die.
Exactly. Yeah. That's badass. Yeah. Cool. Hell yeah.
Cool.
Like, the Ring of Fire is just being in a relationship where you want to get out, but you just keep getting into it more and more. Yeah.
And it's so ironic that he made that song with his wife.
Hell yeah. Johnny Cash for sure. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, if you want, you don't have to, but you have 2 more. I'm asking you questions.
Give me the stack. I want to see. Yeah, I want to ask, like, the first question: which music video has made the biggest impression on you? Because I know you've seen a shitload of them.
I've seen, yeah, maybe more than is good for me. But I would say I would divide them between modern and classic. We both know Boy.
Yeah, we do.
His stepdad, because Boy was my next door neighbor, and whenever I had to go to school, I just didn't, and I would go to Boy's house, and we would hang with his stepdad, and he would have closets. Shout out Arno, by the way. Closets with DVDs and CDs with weird concerts, and he had Primus.
Ooh.
And he had Mr. Krinkle. And that's that big. You see this big hog, this big pig with a contrabass.
I know exactly which clip this is.
And that's it already starts weird. And then, like, you should watch it, Mr. Krinkle by Primus, and then there's a whole circus. And it's so absurd, because first it's like there's a random guy that's on fire with a briefcase that walks by, and then there's like twins like jump roping one at a time, and then it gets more, and then it becomes one big carnival with bullshit. It's bullshit, and it gets weirder and weirder. Shout out to Nekrogoblicon. Ooh, Everyone Must Die or something, or
yeah, Nekrogoblicon, yeah.
Yeah, that's and when it comes to modern, Always from Blink.
Oh yeah, that's a cool one.
That just the way
with the three frames. Yeah, that's cool.
And how they depict how, like, in every that's what I got out of it. Like in every guy, there's conflicted personalities when you approach somebody you're into. There's the cool guy, and there's the shy guy, and there's the to me, when I look at it, it's like as if all the conflicting entities in somebody, how they interact with somebody that you're into.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's a cool one.
Yeah.
I should have said that one.
No, I thought feeling this is actually, especially how you mentioned how they communicate through the screen. It's also very good.
Yeah, through the fans and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's a cool one.
Do you have one more left?
Ooh, all right. Ooh. It's weird because like loads of these questions we for sure have like the same answer to it.
Yeah, that's actually because we basically grew up in the same atmosphere, and
yeah. Ooh, I want to hear this from you. Which artist whose music you like but you ignore for other reasons?
Kanye West. Kanye fucking West. Do I even have to explain it?
No.
Not really, right? I already said it with the other one. Yeah, I mean, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy right there. I mean, but I have to say too, and I said this the last time too, but I'm gonna repeat it. Rammstein, actually.
Ooh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've been talking with my dad is a huge Rammstein fan, but he's actually despising the band more and more now because like Till is becoming like a caricature of his own person.
Yeah.
And he put it in such a good way, and I was like, yeah, you're fucking right. Like they used to do like these live shows with fire and smoke and just a few props just to enhance like the experience of the live show, but then it's gotten out of hand. Like if you see them playing at the Goffert Park, you can see the black smoke from here, and still no new Pope. Yeah. Like it's insane. Like they just keep blasting fire. Like when you're sitting first row there, I'm positive that your fucking eyebrows are scorched off by the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me it was the and it was to me like the way you said that it hurt. I think it was about what kind of almost hurt you, like how you were treated when I asked you what was the most negative experience. The thing is, like, there's more bands or artists that I have a problem with, but the thing was, I used to love Rammstein, and they meant a lot to me growing up, and they meant a lot to me when I needed music to comfort me because I had a shitty home situation. But Rammstein was being negatively and bashed on a lot of times, and a lot of times I stood up for them. When they did the Deutschland video, everybody was saying, yeah, you cannot use the Holocaust and blah 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 blah, and I respected them because it's their story to tell as Germans.
Yeah.
But then the accusations came of that what Till was doing with backstage with girls, especially with a solo project, and then Rammstein as a band said, we're not pressing, because nobody pressed charges against him, and then Rammstein said we want to do our own investigation, and that's the last thing you ever heard of it. And that was, for me, was a thing like, that's crossing a line for me, to be honest.
Yeah, like enabling this dude into doing whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
Because they've reached like this level of being a musician where they can think they can get away with everything. Isn't it the same with the Lost Prophet singer?
That's funny because I also mentioned that the last time, yeah. But he's worst case scenario.
Yeah, like they've become such a popular band that this dude thought it would be a good idea to fucking rape babies. Like he's a piece of shit.
Why would you? I think at least we can say it's a very good reason to ignore somebody that operates on that level.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
We can shake hands on that. Before we leave, traditionally this is the part before we leave and we thank each other. Is there anything you would like to elaborate about? Is there anything coming up? Is there anything, Anything at all?
Ooh, yeah, September 14th, Baruch Open Air performance is playing there.
Awesome.
Next year, early next year, new music is coming out as well. New album. Hopefully this year we can release a single. It all depends on how fast we are with everything. But yeah, new music is coming. Cool shows are coming. Come watch, please. We need the money.
I know that in your your campaign you offered vinyls. Will they be available now that the campaign is closed at one point?
Yeah, we'll be pressing vinyls for the people who pre-ordered the vinyls, but we will be pressing more, so people who didn't pre-order a vinyl can still grab one in our web store or at the merch table.
Cool.
So yeah, we'll be making sure that we have plenty of new merchandise as well.
Cool. Well, personally, I think since he managed to pull his record question in his bonus question, it was one card short of getting a vinyl. I think you guys should move over to the website of REFRENCE as fast as you can. Pre-order, send us a mail, and sponsor these dudes.
Hell yeah, that's rfrmest.com.
Cool. Anything coming up for Menacer?
We're playing a few shows till the end of the year. Not much, just a few. And we're also working on new music there. So yeah, I've got a lot of cool shit coming up. A lot of new music, a lot of cool shows, a lot of merchandising as well, which we will be releasing very soon. So only good stuff right now.
Cool. My brother in Christ, I really want to thank you. I stole that one from you. I heard you say my brother in Christ is somebody. I thought I'm going to keep that one. My dude, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me, man.
Very, very much obliged. So, respectively, if you know or are that one musician or artist that would like to sit here and make a cool conversation like this, let us know on our Instagram at Harvey Music, or harveyhasadream@gmail.com. Just send us a message and we'll see you later. Bye.